I miss you all so much. So anyway, I had been playing at Mary Jane's house, and I was walking home up the road, and it was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and suddenly this big light just goes whoosh, right over my head, and I ran into the house and into the kitchen where my mother was, and I just told her, I said, something just flew. It looked like the sun fell like in the woods, Mom. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I have pondered a lot of these very unusual experiences in my life, but I love this poem. This is called The First Light. I think it's really sweet. I was 7, an age of reason, with Nazarite hair and pure complexion, walking from Mary Jane's house, the sun low upon our hills. Suddenly a comet at 4 o'clock flew over my head. I bet I could touch that light. It had landed. Many nights had I lived in the unseen and unafraid, yet curious. I called Rose to tell her. I've seen the sun fall in the afternoon. It tumbled onto your hill, or got buried in the timber. All the children fell to search. No deeply graven hole held this angel light, nor did we unearth in our thick birch richly wrapped homes that we would find. That would come later. That's such a heavy poem. I love that poem. It's so cool. I love this poem too. In the back of our house we had a brook. And it was a beautiful brook. I mean, with turtles and little tadpoles and all kinds. It was magical. It was just magical. And in the winter, the brook would freeze. So my sister and my brother and I, we would go up to the Ganyas with these long sleds. And we would then go up to like where the brook was on an even higher hill. And we would get on our sleds and go right down the brook on our sleds, and we'd be piled on top of one another. We were crazy, nuts. But anyway, I was thinking about this, and I thought, that whole experience was like a lesson in astrophysics. So that's what I entitled the poem, A Lesson in Astrophysics. We could slide from the Ganya farm past Ramo's cabin, all piled and warm on our flying saucers, 4 piled on 4 and soar beyond all speeds known to man. The ice over our brook, a celestial frozen runway from which we took our lessons in astronomy. An astrophysics dream of learning that ice can deliver beams of laughter, the velocity of joy. This we could not glean from books, but took our instructions and lessons from a glacial brook. That poem is so frosty, and I love Robert Frost. My grandmother gave me my first collection of Robert Frost for my 12th birthday in the clearing when I was 12 years old. And after I read that book, I said, I have to write like that. So Frost was my earliest influence, one of them. Other influences were Emily Dickinson, of course, because she was right up the road in Amherst. And who else? Loved W.B. Yeats, T.S. Eliot. Never really cared for Ezra Pound, sorry. I'll think of some more later. I guess I'll just continue the section on growing up in Massachusetts before we leave for Europe. Or my European adventures, shall I say. over in Ireland. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Oh boy. Anyway, back to Massachusetts when I was safe. Okay. This is called A Lesson in I don't know if I want to read that. It's about the first time I went skiing. You'd probably be bored. Love poems. I don't believe in love, so I just kind of stopped writing them. All right. Marcella's Highway. Well, that's really not true. I do. I've been married for 27 years to a wonderful man, and I love marriage. I do. I really do. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I wrote this. Yeah, let me go ahead and jump ahead to Dublin when I was an actress. I was really, really immature. So, and I grew up in the woods. What did I know of the world? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, no flowers and no telegrams, please. This is about actors and actresses catching the bus downtown to go downtown Dublin to the Gate or Abbey Theatre. No, it's called No Flowers and No Telegrams, please. All right. The doorbell rings, a St. Alarm. It's noon or 2 p.m. The drip plops edgy music. The cathedral bell tolls 3. Pour tea, milk, and shredded wheat, wipe the empty table clean, pack the costumes in their case. Chase 15A to the theater scene. Walk through high-winded archways, performance on, signs black. Elbow past, a corridor goes, face on the counter, changes on the rack. Full spots, high boots, sing dance charade. The girls are beautiful, so are the boys. I croaked my way through that song. Quick change actors, pathetic parade. No flowers and no telegrams, please. Don't break my James Dean image. Send vodka on the rocks and smokes. I mean, I have some limits. Of course, I don't drink anymore, and I haven't for years. But I think when I wrote this, yeah, I was drinking vodka back then. Okay, but no more. I don't touch alcohol. All right. Let me see. Oh, yes, the Lord's Island. Well, I think I'll pick up the next video with the Lord's Island. But I'm going to end this for tonight, and I want to thank you all for tuning in.